My name's Ryan. I go by the Fly Guy, Colorado. This is my outdoor channel. Today's going to be a little bit of some survival gear. I tried to film a video for you guys yesterday where we went after carp, but it was 20-mile-an-hour wind out, so I had a hard time casting and I didn't really get a very good video. So today's weather is supposed to be 50% chance of rain, plus we have a big camping trip coming up tomorrow that you guys will be seeing on the channel. So I'm going to spend today doing a short video for you guys to show you my hammock setup. I found a little bit more efficient way to stow it and to build it. So I've already built it once off camera, and I'm going to build it again for you guys start to finish on camera so you guys can see how easy it really is. This is my emergency setup, so if I'm ever stuck out in the woods overnight, I at least can get myself off the ground and get some cover from the weather. Weather here in Colorado changes from day to day. My first thing that I do in the morning when I get up is I get on the weather forecast and I check the weather for the day, and then I check it for a few days out if I'm planning on going anywhere. Like I said, the weather will change here, so you might get the forecast one day, it'll tell you it's going to be really nice, and then you'll go check the forecast that day and it's not so nice that day. So it's always very smart to check the weather if you're going to be going into the mountains. Like I said before, I've had to use search and rescue before, and that was due to poor planning on my part. I went up in the mountains and it was 86 degrees, very sunny out, early March. I was real excited to get up in the mountains, so I drove up there. I had my basic survival bag with me and a gallon of water and food for the night. I woke up at 5:30 in the morning and there was about 1.5 to 2 feet of snow, and I was unable to drive out, so I had to hike out a couple miles and get a phone call out to my dad, where I was very lucky to get cell phone service. Most of the places we go, you cannot get cell phone service, so I was able to get one phone call out to my dad, and he was able to get search and rescue into the area that I was at. The most important piece of advice I could offer you guys is if you're planning a trip by yourself into the mountains, to always let someone know your exact location where you will be at, how long you're going to be gone for, and when they can expect you home. If they haven't heard back from you at your set up time with them, they should go ahead and notify search and rescue to come get you. You could be injured out there, so every minute or every hour that you're out there could potentially put your life more and more in jeopardy. If you're ever planning a vacation to Colorado, the best advice I could give you is come a couple days earlier than when you want to go into the mountains, and spend a few days at the lower elevation getting acclimated to the altitude. We're at almost over a mile right now at the lower elevation, so it's harder for people to breathe down here. If you ever need to pick up a can of oxygen, they're located pretty much everywhere around here in Colorado for people to pick up to go into the higher elevation. It's a smart idea to get one. It is a lot harder to breathe up there. I've lived here my whole life, and even when I go up in high elevation, my breath gets short, so it's definitely a good idea to go ahead and pick one of those up and take it with you on your adventure. You don't want mountain sickness. What that is a combination of elevation and dehydration. So the day before you're planning a big trip into the mountains, you really want to hydrate. The second part of that is to make sure when you're going up in elevation to stay hydrated. So once you get up there, what mountain sickness feels like is basically the worst hangover you could possibly feel. It will definitely ruin your day, and you won't have fun and enjoy the mountains like you want to. So I've got my setup set up here. I've done it once off camera. I'm going to go ahead and pull it out, and I'm going to go show you guys start to finish what it looks like. It's a pretty simple setup. It'll get you off the ground. It'll get you out of the weather. You could set up base camp around it. Hopefully this summer I'm going to plan on doing a trip where we only take the hammock up with us and do a whole video segment of just camping with the hammock. I've never done that before, so I'm going to try and make a video this summer where we just use the hammock. I usually stick to tent camping. It feels a little safer for some reason, but I think this year we're going to give it a shot with the hammock. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the hammock, how to set it up real quick, and hopefully we can make this kind of a short video. Guys, the first part of your setup is going to be locating 2 trees that are going to actually support your weight. I found 2 trees down here at my park. Unfortunately, I don't have one at my house, so it's kind of a little bit busy and loud out here today. I'm hoping the audio will be alright for you guys. So I found my 2 trees. We've got some natural cover up here in the trees, so that's kind of what you want. That'll help shed some of the rain if it does rain. The first step to our hammock is we're going to come over here and we're going to get our straps to our hammock. So we'll go ahead and pull our straps out. These are off of Amazon, and they are Fox Ellie straps. You can find these on Amazon. They support 1,000 pounds. So we'll take our one strap, find our end here, or this is our end loop of our strap, and then it's got several other loops down here to connect the kayak. we're going to take and go ahead and throw this around the tree and grab it. So you want your straps to lay flat against the tree, so that way you get a good cinch down. And then you go ahead and feed this strap back through this first loop. So you always want to put your straps a little bit higher than what you think on the tree, because your hammock will sag. So you get your strap cinched down on one side, pick up our other strap, we'll come over here. We want to try and put them as level as we can on the tree to each other. So we'll go ahead and put this guy up here, pull it around the tree, feed it back through the loop here. So we'll go ahead and pull this and cinch it down on the tree real good. Get it set up in the middle of the tree. All right, we got that set up. We're going to come over here and grab our hammock. So we'll take our hammock. I've got it rolled into the hammock bag itself with the tarp attached, the stakes attached, everything's in this one bag. So hopefully this will help shed a little weight and make it a little bit more packable and easier to set up. So we'll take and start by pulling it out of the bag. So we'll go ahead and pull it out of our bag here. And then I've got it rolled into two sections, so we're going to lay it down, unroll our two sections. We'll get our actual hammock carabiner here, go to our strap, grab our strap. We might need to adjust the length here a little bit, but we'll go ahead and click it into one so we can get it off the ground and see what it looks like. We'll go over here, we'll grab our second carabiner. These came attached to my hammock, so I didn't have to purchase these carabiners. They're pretty heavy duty. So we'll go ahead and click that into our other strap over here. We'll go ahead and make our adjustment. We'll pull this up a little bit. So we'll go up one more and get our hammock nice and tight. So we've got our other strap here. You'll see it's sitting a little high. We want it to be a little bit high. We want it to be a little level too. So we'll come and work our strap down a little bit on this side. You don't want one side higher than the other. It'll make it kind of uncomfortable to sleep in. So our rain fly is already attached here. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and unfold our rain fly. We'll go ahead and lay it over top of the hammock here. What I've done is I've run this cord through my mosquito net, and then I've tied the tip of my rain fly to this cord. So it's already all set up on my hammock already. We'll go up here to this tree branch up here. We'll give it a little loop around this tree branch. We're just going to use a simple over and under figure 8 knot. So we'll do one, and then we'll go back over this way, the opposite direction, 2. And we got our figure 8. We'll go back over to this side, grab this side of the rain fly, try and get it pulled a little bit better here. We might have to go reposition our other strap on the tree, but we'll get this one tied down pretty good, give it a nice tight pull, loop around the tree, back over. We're just going to do an over and under knot, figure 8. Figure 8. We'll go this way, this way. Alright, get that on there. Go ahead and do our second knot. Get that pulled through there. Get that kind of set up on there. We want to adjust this a little bit. We're going to let out some of the slack on this side. So we're going to make this a little bit shorter so it goes over our hammock. Oh, come on. You don't want to use a really tight knot because you might have to adjust them again, so that's why we're doing these. So we'll go ahead and let out a little bit of our slack here, and we'll make this a little bit shorter on this side. Over, under, over, under. Alright, we got that set up here. That's a little bit better set up. So our stakes are pre-attached, everything's tied together. We're going to take our first stake down here. We want to pull this back and get a fair amount of tension in it, stick it in the ground. We're going to go over here and do the same. pull this back, get a fair amount of tension in it, stick this in the ground, then we'll come around here to the other side, give you guys kind of a view of what it looks like. So we'll get our other strap here, go ahead and pull this back this way, stick this in the ground real quick. We'll go ahead and give this a little pull this direction, get our stake out from in here, and we'll go ahead and pull this back and get this in the ground. So that's your setup right there. That'll help get you off the ground and keep you dry. So it's real important in the mountains here to stay dry. Like I said, it's June right now, but I don't know if we can see it. We can't see it because there's so much cloud cover. You guys will have to take my word for it. There is snow still on the peaks up there in the mountains. So it is kind of cold. You can still get hypothermia up there. But that's our setup. It took me, what, like maybe 4 or 5 minutes to set that up real quick. We like to keep our straps hanging down here. And I'll give you guys a little tip on hammock camping. If it does rain, the rain's going to come down and it's going to go onto your strap. So if you keep this strap down on towards the ground here, the rain will run down the strap and it'll run down this instead of going into your hammock. So that's a little pro tip to hammock camping. I'll give you guys a little view inside here. We'll run our strap down like we just told you guys. That'll help shed some of the water if it does rain. And then we'll give you guys a view inside. And then we'll go ahead and get in on this side. We'll scoot the zipper down a little bit so we can actually get a hold of it and show you guys. So we'll go ahead and get back in our hammock real quick. This hammock, I believe, said it would support, I want to say like 300 pounds on Amazon. So, and I paid $40 for it. So we'll go ahead and zip ourselves in here. So that'll keep the mosquitoes out while you're trying to sleep, or if you just want to take a nap while you're up there. It's pretty spacious. It's got a little pocket here on the side for your cell phone or pocket knife or anything you want to get out of your pockets. And it's actually really comfortable. It's kind of a little claustrophobic if you ever sleep in a hammock, but this is the basic setup. I have some extra holes here if I want to expand the mosquito webbing. So we can expand it out a little bit more and give ourselves a little bit more breathing room, but this is our basic setup, and it took us a couple minutes to do. So this is what goes with us in our survival bag. So that's our setup. We'll go ahead and unzip ourselves out of here. So we'll unzip it. I like to take this on my day hikes, because if I really want to just kind of hang out in between fishing spots, I can just kind of sit in the hammock as well. So I don't need to carry a chair with me. I can just bring the hammock itself. So I hope this shows up good for you guys. So that's our basic setup. And then what we'll go ahead and do is we'll unattach all of our stakes. We'll untie out of the tree. We'll unclip our hammock and we'll fold it up real nice and roll it up, and we'll get it back into the same bag the hammock came in, and that'll help save us a little bit of space. But that's just a quick setup. I don't have trees at my house to be able to show you guys. So this is what I'll use if I am out day hiking. This will go with me. So pretty simple setup, pretty quick. All this stuff can be found on Amazon. I think for the whole setup that I did was maybe around like 90, 100 bucks to get this. So it's a good idea. I take and spray this with waterproofer. So this has been sprayed several times with waterproofer just to help shed the rain a little bit more. I'm going to keep this all tied together like it is, and I'm just going to roll it back up in the bag, and I'll give you a shot of what it looks like when we get it down. Alright guys, through a little creative folding and positioning of our stakes, we managed to get our whole hammock here. Give you a shot down here. We got our whole hammock in the bag that is attached to the hammock, and then the second bag down here has our straps in it, so we no longer have multiple bags that we have to carry around. We only have 2 to worry about now, and everything's set up, pre-ready to go in case we need it. A little bit more background on me. I did a survival school when I was 17, and the longest that I've spent out in the wilderness here in the Rockies is 90 days. We literally saw nobody other than what was in our group. We had food dropped off to us. I learned how to do a bow drill fire starter, so if I really need to, I can do that. I don't recommend some of the stuff that you're going to see me do on this channel unless you have, I'd say, a pretty like intermediate to maybe advanced outdoor skills. We will be going pretty dangerous places, and I'll be taking you guys along and trying to shoot that. But this is my basic video of my hammock emergency setup. So like I said, we're going to be trying to shoot a separate video where we just take the hammock for a camping trip, and we're just going to use our hammock. So I'm going to take this hammock setup that I have, and I'm going to use it a couple times where we're just doing some kind of fun camping before I go and actually really rely on it. So we're going to see how well it really does. The most I've used it so far is the last couple summers. We've set it up at camp and sat in it and kind of laid in it and gotten out of the sun and stuff like that. So before I take this up and actually use it as my primary source of survival, I'm going to make sure it's really going to work for me. So the best advice I can offer you guys. I'm going to try and make this video short. I hope everybody's being safe. I love you guys. Thanks for watching.